When Moses was on the point of departing from heaven, a celestial voice announced, Moses, thou comest hither, and thou dost see the throne of my glory. Now thou shalt see also paradise and hell. And God dispatched Gabriel on the errand of showing hell to him. Terrified by its fire, when he caught the sight of them as he entered the portals of hell, Moses refused to go further. See, back then, it's a lot that the Bible leaves out. It's a lot of things in the Bible that should be in the Bible that are not in there. I'm reading again from the Lost Books. This is the Legend of the Jews, but it has a lot more information that we need to know that they took out. Okay, so back then, God showed Moses heaven and hell. Okay, and this is his journey to hell now. Okay, and so it says he refused to go further because he was scared. And so it says, but the angels encouraged him, saying, there is a fire that not only burns but also consumes, and that fire will protect thee against hellfire, so that thou canst step upon it, and yet thou wilt not be seared. As Moses entered hell, the fire withdrew a distance of 500 parasangs, and the angel of hell, Nazagel, asked him, who art thou? And he answered, I am Moses, the son of Aaron. Nazagel, this is not thy place, thou belongest in paradise. Moses, I came hitherto to see the manifestation of the power of God. Then said God to the angel of hell, go and show hell unto Moses, and how the wicked are treated there. Immediately he went with Moses, walking before him like a pupil before his master. And thus they entered hell together. And Moses saw men undergoing tortures by the angels of destruction. Remember I told you the angels of destruction are the angels that are appointed over the tortures. Okay? So I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this. And this, again, this is Moses visits paradise and visits hell. So I'll do part 2 in a moment. All right, we're going to continue. Moses saw men undergoing tortures. It says Moses saw the men undergoing tortures by the angels of destruction. Okay, we're continuing right there. And it says some of the sinners were suspended by their eyelids, some by their ears, some by their hands, and some by their tongues, and they cried bitterly. And women were suspended by their hair and by their breasts, and in other ways, all on chains of fire. Nazagel explained, these hang by their eyes, because they look lustfully upon the wives of their neighbors, and with a covetous eye upon the possessions of their fellow man. These hang by their ears, because they listen to empty and vain speech, and turn their ear away from hearing the Torah. These hang by their tongues, because they talk slander, and accustom their tongue to foolish babbling. These hang by their feet, because they walk with them in order to spy upon their fellow man. But they walk not to the synagogue to offer prayer unto the Creator. These hang by their hands, because with them they robbed their neighbors of their possessions and committed murder. These women hang by their hair and their breasts, because I told you guys, God don't like fast women. Here it is. They hang by their hair and their breasts, because they uncovered them in the presence of young men, so that they conceive desire unto them and fall into sin. Okay? That's your warning right there. This is it's, I don't know why it's not stated in the Bible like it should be, but you getting the information. Change your ways, change your life. Okay? God is always watching you. Okay? And now you guys see, you're hearing the torments. You're hearing the torments for yourself now. In detail. And it gets much worse than this. Okay? I'll do part 3 in a moment. Alright, so I'm going to continue with Moses visits paradise and visit hell. We're continuing with the part where I left off. I know it's been 2 weeks, so sorry guys. But we're continuing now. So, and I wanted to read this part because this is very important. You guys need to know this. And it says, Moses heard a cry with a loud and bitter voice, saying to Nazagel. Nazagel again is the angel of hell, one of the angels over hell, right? Moses heard a cry with a loud and bitter voice, saying to Nazagel, "Give me something to eat. I'm hungry." Now this is hell. Hell is actually a spiritual being as well. Hell could talk and everything, right? We just think it's hell as a place, but hell is a living, actual spiritual being. Okay? And he says, he cried to Nazagel, "Give me something to eat. I'm hungry." Nazagel says, "What shall I give thee, hell? Give me the souls of the pious." This is what hell cries for. This is what hell wants to eat. Let that sink in for a minute. This is what hell wants to eat. The souls of the pious. The souls of the innocent. The souls of the lost. Right? And so, Nazagel, the Holy One, blessed be he, will not deliver the souls of the pious unto thee. Now this is what God said. I'm not going to give you the souls of the pious. He didn't say about the impious. Who are the impious? The sinners. The ones that won't repent. Right? The ones that just are hell-bent on refusing to change. Stay stagnated. Don't want to see themselves. That's who God is going to deliver the souls of the impious to hell. Okay? And so I'm gonna have to continue the next part in just a moment because it's gonna take like probably two more videos to finish this. So just give me a few moments and I'll continue with the next part. Going to continue. Moses saw the place called Aluka, where sinners were suspended by their feet, their heads downwards, and their bodies covered with black worms, each 500 parasangs long. They lamented and cried, "Woe unto us for the punishment of hell! Give us death that we may die." Nazagel explained, because he's showing this to Moses now. Nazagel explained, "These are the sinners that swore falsely, profaned the Sabbath and the holy days, despised the sages, called their neighbors by unseemly nicknames, wronged the orphan and the widow, and bore false witness. Therefore bade God, delivered them to these worms." That's just one torment. That's just one punishment. There are so many others. I'm going to read you the next one. Okay, and then he says, now let's go back to that. You see where it says they profane the Sabbath. The Sabbath, again, guys, is not Sunday. The Sabbath is Saturday. A lot of people are going to church on the wrong day. They're celebrating God on the wrong day and partying on the day they should be honoring God. And nobody wants to hear this. Nobody is calling these pastors on their bluff, calling them on their bluff, and going to your churches and asking them, questioning them, why are we coming together to worship God on the wrong day? So there's going to be a lot of responsibility, not on just the pastors, but on you guys, because you are willingly following a lie. And here it is. God just said that these are the sinners that swore falsely and profaned the Sabbath and the holy days, despised the sages, called their neighbors by unseemly nicknames, meaning you're talking about people. You're talking about people. You got nicknames for people. Right? And God sees this. And then he says, they wronged the orphan or the widow. A lot of people, the women and the children are going to church and being raped. In the church. Yeah. They're going for help and end up having to sleep with multiple people. Or you can't trust you can't trust the church. You can't leave your children at church no more, because you're in fear of what might happen to them. God is going to hold you responsible. There's a punishment for every sin. All right. Sorry, guys. So now we're going to continue. I think I might have maybe... I'll probably go ahead and finish this whole section. All depends. Okay, so we'll go ahead and finish. So now we're on the next part. It says, Moses went thus to another place, and there he saw sinners prone on their faces, and 200,000 scorpions lashing, stinging, and tormenting them, while their tortured victims cried bitterly. Each of the scorpions had 70,000 heads, each head 70,000 mouths, each mouth 70,000 stings, and each sting 70,000 pouches of poison and venom, which the sinners are forced to drink down, although the anguish is so racketing that their eyes melt in their sockets. Nazagel explained, again, the angel of hell, Nazagel. Guess who these people are? Nazagel explained, these are the sinners who caused the Israelites to lose their money, who exalted themselves above the community, who put their neighbors to shame in public, who delivered their fellow Israelites into the hands of the Gentiles, who denied the Torah of Moses, and who maintain that God is not the creator of the world. Bet you didn't know that. I bet you they ain't teach you that in church. I bet you real money they did. Okay? So, all right, guys, sorry, my phone paused. Okay, so, yeah, so that is what happened. There are people in hell that are suffering this type of torment right now as we speak, and have been there forever. Forever. And they cannot escape this. Do you think that God is a joke now? Do you think that he is something to be played with? I can assure you that he is not. You want to be on the right side of him. Look at his imagination. Who would even think to even do that? Nobody but God. And he created angels to do his bidding for him. Okay. You guys, there's a whole world going on around you. A whole world. You have your guardian angel that's assigned to you. right? That knows you better than you even know yourself. That has been there before you were even born. The day that you were conceived, they were assigned to you. They know everything, all your secrets. But you guys, you also have demons that are assigned to you. And their job is to make sure that they create as much turmoil in your life as they possibly can. To make sure you don't arrive. To make sure you miss God. So they will be able to testify before the Father for your soul. They keep a detailed ledger. Just like heaven keeps a ledger of everything that you do, the devil keeps a ledger of everything that you do. Facts. Because when judgment comes, he's gonna want God to pay up. He's coming to collect. He knows that he's doomed. He knows that his end is coming very soon. But he just don't want to go by himself. He want to take as many of you with him as he possibly can. And yet we still find the time to serve him. We still give in to evil. You can choose to be kind. You can choose to help your brother, help your sister. You can choose love. But you choose the things that has no value to God. That holds no value. We won't even choose him. We're so ashamed to even say his name now. It's not popular. It's not cool to talk about God now. That's the nation that that's where it's at. We have time for everything but him. Move like you got an audience, because you do. Heaven is always watching, and so is the devil.